Welcome back to Blake's Religion Commentary videos. Today we have a member of the Coptic Orthodox Church, and we're going to be going over their liturgy and structure. Alright, Guy, I grew up Pentecostal. I don't know how y'all do it, but tell me a little bit about y'all's liturgy of your tradition.
I'm not really sure, man. I know we usually use St. Basil's liturgy, but bro, I usually be asleep.
All right, welcome back to Will and Harry versus Blake. Blake, again, is going out to people who are in the Coptic Orthodox Church, and we're going to correct all of it. So Guy's actually right there, just for a moment. They do use St. Basil's liturgy. There's three main liturgies for the Coptic Orthodox Church. St. Basil's, this originated in the 4th century, and this is the one that's most commonly used throughout the year. We've got St. Gregory of Nazianzus. He also has a liturgy, and this one's used on feast days and holidays. Basil is addressed to God the Father. Gregory of Nazianzus is addressed to God the Son. The third liturgy is hardly used anymore. It's St. Cyril's, and St. Cyril got his liturgy directly from St. Mark, the founder of the Orthodox Church.
Yeah, so in their liturgy and their services, they have three main parts. The first is the offering of oblation, which is when they have the presentation and they prepare the Eucharist to be used at the end of the service. The second part is the liturgy of the catechumen. This is when they have large portions of scripture read, and this is when the priest gives his homily. And the third and final section is the liturgy of the faithful, which is when they actually partake of the Eucharist and eat of the communion. In their liturgy, they have rich symbolism. So they engage all five senses. They have intoning or chanting for hearing. They have a holy kiss for touch. They have Eucharist for taste. They have icons for sight, and they have incense for smell. And they believe that external things like this can affect your internal self.
Alright, so you don't know a whole lot about the services, but what can you tell me about like a service, like what they do in the church or the leadership?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of new, but I know with the guy with the beard is the Pope, and there's some random guys behind him.
Guy, that is not the Pope. That's the priest. The priest is the guy up there with the beard. Maybe he has the cross in his hand. The priest's function is he oversees all the services in the church, and he also administers the sacraments. In order to be a priest, they have to be a child of their mother's first marriage. They have to be married only one time, and they can only be married before they enter the priesthood, not after. And they also have to be baptized and have some knowledge of Coptic and the Arabic languages. Daily functions they have are things like going and visiting the sick and the people of the congregation. They hear confession. They maybe take trips to monasteries or holy places or retreat houses. And then,
So right after the priest, we have the deacon. The main thing to say about the deacon, this is the guys that Guy was referring to behind the priest. The main thing to say about the deacons is they cannot preside over any of the sacraments. They can assist, though. They can teach, they can serve the poor, they can assist in baptism, they can witness in marriage. The main thing to say is they can help with the distribution of the Eucharist, but they absolutely cannot preside over the Eucharist. They also can't administer confirmation, they can't take confession, they can't even anoint the sick. So after the deacons, we go priest, deacon, now we have the laity. The laity is essential for the congregation or for the church even to meet. And the laity, they don't hold any clerical authority, but they can participate in various projects from the authority of the priest.
So that's the whole leadership in the church. But like overall in the whole denomination, who's doing what? Who's calling the shots? What does the leadership look like in the whole denomination?
I don't know, man. I'm part of the lady, and we used to have a say, but not anymore.
So you don't really know how things
I
go?
don't really know, man.
I got you.
So Guy's actually right there. The laity has not really had a lot of involvement since especially the 20th century. The polity of the Coptic Orthodox Church is two different types, Episcopal and Synodal. So Episcopal, think top-down governance. And actually, this tradition draws on the different degrees of angelic host for their leadership. This is actually pretty cool. Ask me about it in the comments if you want to know more. So it starts with the Pope. The Pope is the personification of the entire church. He's the spiritual head. After the Pope is the Metropolitans. They oversee multiple dioceses, multiple regions. Then we have a bishop. The bishop oversees a specific diocese. The priest, who we talked about, oversees a specific church. And then the deacons, who assist in the liturgy. And then the laity, who of course is necessary for church even to happen. That's more of the Episcopal top-down side of things. Will's going to talk about the synod.
yeah, so the Holy Synod is made up of bishops, and each bishop of the diocese is automatically in the synod. They also have metropolitans, they have abbots in there, And the Holy Synod, they do things like ecclesiastical matters, they do spiritual things, they do structural, financial, and management things. And one important thing that they partake of is the election of the next Patriarch of Rome. So how they do this is a list of names or candidates is drawn up, and they send it out to all the churches so that they can see whether they want someone or don't want somebody. And then they gather all the electors in a room, and they write their name on a ballot and put it in a box. And a kid comes up blindfolded, and he picks a name out of the box, and the name he pulls is the next Patriarch of Alexandria.